Since the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania trailer came out, there's been a lot of talk about how Shang-Chi will connect to that movie, especially because with the post-credit scene. So let's talk about theories, because I got a few where Ant-Man connects to Shang-Chi, the Marvels, Loki Season 2, and it all sets up the Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Welcome to NonStopAntonio, where I talk about everything nerdy. I love Marvel, DC, and anime, and if you do too, I hope you enjoy this video. There's been one big theory going around that Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania and Shang-Chi will connect to one another, because everyone thinks that the pulsating from the rings is actually going into the quantum realm, sending a signal out to Kang, which actually might be true, and there's a lot of stuff that might support it, especially with other projects like the Marvels, Loki, and Miss Marvel as well. Since in the Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer, we see that Scott's going to steal something for Kang, which looks like a certain device. And my theory is that that device or power source he's going against will power Kang's time chair, which will help the version of Kang that's in the quantum realm get out of there and possibly meet up with other Kangs. And I think that the 10 rings was sending out a signal to one of the Kangs, probably the one that's at the top, that his plan is now in motion. Because ever since the one who remains got killed and all the time broke, all the Kangs are all over the place again. But in Loki Season 1, he explained that there used to be multiple Kangs that would work together. However, what I think is happening is that there are multiple working together, but there's one setting up a plan to betray them all. So the one that's leading everything put the 10 rings in the past and also put the Bangle from Miss Marvel in the past, so that when they were activated by certain people, it would set off a signal being like, hey, it's time to enact our plan. And on top of it all, the city has similar designs on it that both the rings and the Bangles have. At the end of Shang-Chi, they're talking to Captain Marvel and Bruce. Obviously, neither of them know what's going on. No one can really tell where these rings are from. However, Captain Marvel's like, I gotta deal with this, I'm gonna go. And I think that connects to Miss Marvel and the post-credit scene for that show. Because in Miss Marvel, the Bangles we saw come from a 10 rings temple, so they're connected to the rings in a sense, or at least the organization, but they also had the Kree on them. So maybe the 10 rings is also part Kree in this universe. And also in Miss Marvel, when Kamala gets hit on the Bangle, she gets sent back in time and then comes back forward. So they have a sense of time travel. So I think the Bangle is the device that'll help Kang activate his time chair and let him go through time and know exactly where he's gonna go. So once he's out of the quantum realm, he'll get that Bangle, bring it to the rest of the team, and the team of Kangs will go around and kind of start doing whatever they want to do. The reason I think Captain Marvel connects to Shang-Chi in that post-credit scene is because you know how they swap places at the end of Miss Marvel? I think that she went to go investigate something on the Kree homeworld or something along the lines, touched a relic which swapped places with Miss Marvel. So the relic on that world is going to also have to deal with the 10 rings and the Bangle, because the Kree also have something to do with this. Which could just be another thing that Kang laid on that planet, so that eventually when everything was set up and his domino effect started happening, his plan will enact, and he can slowly start taking over the timeline or the universe. So when we get to the Marvels, Captain Marvel's now on Earth. She's probably going to go to Sword Space Station. She's going to find Monica Rambeau, and they're going to go off to find Kamala in space. And the cool part about this is I think during the movie, The Marvels, Miss Marvel is going to lose her Bangle. I think it's going to get left at whatever swapped them in the first place. Either it has to stay there so that something doesn't happen that's bad, like an explosion, like it now set off this timer that Kang set up so that the Bangle will be left there so he could take it later. And in the movie, we're going to have Kamala end up getting her late Inhuman abilities rather than the X gene. It's going to be the Inhuman abilities, because they're on the Kree world, she's going to end up going through Terrigenesis, which is going to lead to those powers becoming true, and she'll get her true polymorph powers. The Bangle will be left behind, and then in a post-credit scene, we'll see a version of Kang, probably not the one from the quantum realm, but another version, go, take the Bangle, and go back into their time sphere and go off through time. It's going to start trickling into pieces saying, so the 10 rings was an alert being like, it's time to enact the plan. Miss Marvel swapping places was also another alert saying the Bangle is now in place that they need for their time sphere. Scott and Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania is going to be trying to take a device for him. When he tries to betray him, it's not going to go right. Kang is still going to get his time chair and the power source for it, and he's going to get out, meet up with the other Kangs, and that's all going to slowly lead into in Loki Season 2 and the Kang Dynasty. Because in Loki Season 2, it's been rumored that we're going to see multiple versions of Kang, which is probably going to be them running the TVA. There's going to be the main one, and then a bunch of other ones working with him. And they're going to be trying to control the timeline, in a sense, but for their own deeds. They're going to be just kind of causing mayhem, destroying shit they don't want to deal with, watching other timelines kind of drag themselves into ruin so that they can take certain devices from those timelines as well. And eventually, when we get to the Kang Dynasty, we'll probably see multiple versions of Kang, but there'll be one main Kang that will betray all of them at the very end of the movie, setting up Secret Wars. So that one will take the powers of the Beyonder and become like God Emperor Kang rather than God Emperor Doom. We'll create Battleworld and we'll take different timelines and put them all together, like how Secret Wars takes a bunch of different Earths and put them together. So that's what I think is going to happen. I think all these projects have stuff together. I'm not a big fan of the fetch quest and having someone go around and collect all the things, because we already did that with Thanos. But I think this is more of a version of Kang has put stuff in the past so that characters, once they get them, it sets a domino effect in to start setting up Kang's plan to take over the timelines, take over the universe, and be that God Emperor Kang. So they're taking stuff from like Doom's storyline and a bunch of other characters and putting it towards Kang, but I think this will still be really, really cool. Like all these other characters who now have certain devices are now tied together. And because of this year, we are getting Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, Loki Season 2, and the Marvels, it kind of makes sense to have these all tie into one another to set up Kang Dynasty next year. I don't think any of the street-based stuff is going to connect, like Captain America, Thunderbolts. I think that'll be setting up like new Avengers team lineup and what's going to happen to Kang Dynasty, like who's going to be in it. But I don't think it's going to set up the plot. Unless Kang comes to Earth to try to take resources from the giant celestial that's sticking out of the Earth. Which also could be a thing for Captain America New World Order, because a lot of people have talked about how that movie is going to either have adamantium or vibranium in the giant celestial, which, hey, Kang could be coming to Earth later after they all fight for it and just taking what he needs, and now he has a metal that makes his device unbreakable, which I think is actually a very good point and could happen. So to sum it all up, Ant-Man and the Wasp will be getting Kang's time chair or the power source for it. The Legend of the Ten Rings was setting up Kang and letting him know that it's time to enact his plan. Miss Marvel's Bangle might be a power device to help control the time machine. And then Loki Season 2 will be introducing us to the other versions of Kang that we have to watch out for and that will be causing chaos around the timelines. And of course, everything's going to be leading into the next big Avengers film, Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. What do you think of these theories? Let me know down in the comments. Do you have any theories of your own? Do you think any of the other projects are going to connect to it? Some I haven't mentioned yet. Let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing some other theories about what might be going on. Thanks for watching the theory video. If you like it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because I will eventually do more of these. I think it's kind of cool to theorize what's going on. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, let me know your theories, and I'll talk to you later.